Hello everyone and welcome to 5-Minute German. In today's video, we will learn the concept of W-Fragen in German. This is a very important concept in A1 because one of the parts in the German A1 exam is to make questions with the W-Fragen. So learning this concept will help you make questions in the German exam easily as well as improve your communication in your daily life. So let's not waste any time and let's get started. So we will start by taking a look at what are W-Fragen. Then we will see the different types of W-Fragen. Then I will tell you how to make W-Fragen. And then we will take a look at some examples of W-Fragen. And at the end, you will get a self-check form for practicing what you have learned in this lesson. So let's start asking questions. So what are W-Fragen? So as the name suggests, these are questions which start with the word W. And these are more open questions which require a more detailed answer, and you cannot just give a yes or no answer to these questions. So let's take a look at the list of W-Fragen in A1. So there are 8 main types of W-Fragen in A1. The first one is was, which means what. After that we have wo, which means where. Then woher, which means from where. Wohin, which means where to. Wie, which means how. And there are different variations of wie, for example, wie viel, wie oft, wie viele. We will take a look at them as well. Then we have wer, which means who, wann, which means when. And the last one is welch, which is welcher, welche, or welches, depending on the noun that comes after it. So before we go into these W-Fragen, let's take a look at how to make the W-Fragen. So the sentence structure for the W-Fragen is that at position 1 we have the W word or the W-Frage. At position 2 we have the conjugated verb. At position 3 we have the subject, and after that we can have some extra information if it is needed. So I will show you this structure as we make some examples with the W-Fragen. So the first W-Frage that we will learn is was, which means what. A commonly used question is was ist das, which means what is that or what is this. Now if we analyze this question, then we see that at the first position we have the W word, at the second position we have the conjugated verb which is ist, and then we have the subject which is das in this case. And after that we can have extra information, but we see that we don't have any extra information in this example. So how do we use this? Now suppose you have this table which is der Tisch. So you can ask the question, was ist das? And your colleague or friend will say, das ist ein Tisch, that is a table. So I have made another video on was ist das, in which you will learn the names of different things in German. So if you want, you can take a look at it as well. I will link it in the description below. Another common question which is asked with was is was machst du or was machen Sie, which is a formal way to ask this. And this means what do you do or what are you doing? And this is an important question because this also comes in the A1 Sprechen part in the introduction, where you will be asked what is your occupation. So an answer for this can be Ich lerne Deutsch. I am learning German. And if you want to tell what is your occupation, then an example can be Ich bin Student or Ich bin Studentin if you are a female student. So this was was. Now let's move on. Now let's take wo, woher and wohin together so that we can understand them. Now I will try to explain this with an example. So suppose that you are a student and you get your visa for Germany approved. And you are very happy that okay, now I will go to Germany, and you take a flight to Germany to fulfill your dreams. So this flight has a transit in Dubai. So you are now in Dubai, and in Dubai the immigration officer stops you and asks you a question. Woher kommen Sie? Where are you coming from? So in my case, I will say, Ich komme aus Pakistan. I am coming from Pakistan. So this is how we use woher. Then the officer asks you, Wohin gehen Sie? Where are you going to? So you will say, Ich gehe nach Deutschland. I am going to Germany, because that is your destination. And then he might ask, Wo sind Sie jetzt? Where are you right now? And you will say, Ich bin in Dubai. I am in Dubai. So you see that wo is used for a fixed place, and woher is used to tell where are you coming from, and wohin is used to tell where are you going to. Another common question which is asked with wo is wo wohnst du? So this is also important for the A1 Sprechen part, as you will have to tell where you live. And in Germany, wohin gehen Sie is often shortened to just Wohin, which means where to. So this is the difference between woher, wo and wohin. Now moving on, let's take a look at wie, which means how. So the most common question with wie is wie geht's, or wie geht es dir, or wie geht es Ihnen, which is the formal way, which means how are you. Now you can use wie to make many other questions. For example, wie alt, which means how old. So you can say wie alt bist du, how old are you. You can say wie viel, how much. So wie viel kostet das, how much does this cost. So if you are in the grocery store, you can use this question to ask about the cost of anything. Then wie oft, which means how often. An example will be wie oft kochst du zu Hause, how often do you cook at home. And wie viele, which means how many. So wie viele Geschwister hast du. There are other variations with wie as well, but these are the most important ones which are relevant for A1. Now moving along, we have the next W-Frage, which is where. Where means who, and it is used for people. So you can say wer bist du, or wer sind Sie, who are you, when you want to know about someone. Another example can be wer kommt heute, who is coming today. Over here you might have a question that where is the subject, because we saw at the start the sentence structure is that at position 1 we have the W word, position 2 the conjugated verb, and then position 3 is the subject. However, over here there is an exception, and that is because where is used for people. So that's why where in this case will be both the W word and the subject, and we don't need any extra subject in position 3. Now let's move on. The next W-Frage is wann, which means when. So with this we can ask the question wann treffen wir uns, when will we meet each other. Another variation for wann is von wann bis wann, which means from when till when. An example with this will be von wann bis wann hast du Zeit, from when till when do you have time. So this is used to ask about the duration of something. Now let's go to the last W-Frage, which is welch, which means which, and it is used in these different variations, where welcher is used with masculine nouns, welche is used with feminine nouns, welches with neutral nouns, and welche with plural nouns. So these are the same endings as der, die, das. So let's take an example with welcher. So welcher Bus fährt nach Berlin, which bus goes to Berlin, because bus is their bus, that's why we use welcher Bus. With welche it will be welche Farbe magst du, which color do you like. With welches it will be welches Buch liest du, which book are you reading. And with welche, which is the plural form, we can say welche Sprachen sprichst du, which means which languages do you speak. And this is also an important question because this is also part of the introduction in the A1 Sprechen part. So these are the different ways you can ask questions with welch. And with this we have done all of the W-Fragen which are part of the A1 German course. So now, as you have learned how to ask questions with the W-Fragen, I would suggest that you go out and start asking questions, because this is a great way to practice your language and to improve your speaking as well as hearing. Just go to a grocery store and ask someone over there wie viel kostet das. Or you can also, if you don't know about the name of something, just show a picture on the phone and ask wo ist das, and then they will tell you, and with this you will improve your hearing as well as speaking. So I hope that this video was helpful for you. You can test how much you have learned about W-Fragen by answering the questions in the self-check form which you will find in the description below. If you have not yet seen my video on the Ja-Nein-Fragen, which are another type of questions in German, then take a look at it right now. If you have any other comments or feedback, please let me know in the comments below. Thank you very much and see you in the next video.